Hey folks, I just wanted to walk you through a quick portrait that I'm editing and just talk about it a little bit and talk about some of the things I did with it to make it look this way. This is a portrait of my friend Kristen, and so some of the new editing presets and some of the overlays and things like that allow you to get this type of effect right here, where it's kind of like a flare is what I guess it's called, or a leak, a light leak. This technique is known as lens chimping. At least that's what Sam Hurd calls it. I learned it from one of his YouTube videos, and he's a big inspiration of mine, and so I go out and attempt it. I've also heard of lens chimping is simply looking at your image on the back of your camera too. Anyways, this is lens chimping, and so I don't think I have my lens, but it's just a convex kind of end of a lens essentially. So like the end of the glass right here on a lens, I actually pulled one out of an old lens and actually used it, but so it's just the end piece of glass. You kind of hover it over the end of your camera as you're shooting, and you can create this right here, this little kind of hazy light leak effect right there. And so that's what I did with this portrait, and it was all in camera, you know, so it was just a little camera hack. But I just wanted to walk you through what I'm going to do as far as editing this portrait. So again, it's called lens chimping, and if you want to know more about that, let me know and I can show you guys more. First thing I always do is get my exposure, my white balance set up. So what I'm looking for are those RGBs to be very, very close. So like in this case, you got 25.4, 24.7, and 25.0. That is a good balanced of white or balanced of all three of those colors. Okay, so I'm telling Lightroom that this is a neutral target. Neutral is the RGBs are very, very similar. Okay, and that's true in this case. When I click it, oh, you're like, oh, it looks really green. Well, it did look green comparatively to this. It's really not. So anyways, you'll see that once I start editing a little bit, but that's why. That's what her shirt looked like. That's what the whites, that's what the sun looked like. That's what the background looked like. That's what her hair looks like. But this, even though that still looks nice, and maybe some of you guys want to do that, that's not a fully white balance photograph. The way you do that is the way I just showed you. Okay, so there's that, and I'm going to expose it a little bit, and I'm probably going to go ahead and straighten it here. I love shooting symmetrical directly in the middle of the frame portraits, by the way. If you follow my work, you know that. I think they're interesting. Even though they don't follow the rule, I just don't care. It's just not something I give a crap about generally. So I actually think I don't know if I want to get rid of that much. There we go. Okay, so now I'm ready to maybe choose my VSCO presets, maybe adjust them, whatever. So if you follow me, you know that I kind of just like spend time noticing my preview navigator window up there, which is really important. I just kind of hover through and I respond. So that's what I'm going to do right now for just a few minutes, and just click through, and if I want to create a snapshot, I can. By Command N does a snapshot like so, by the way. So if you are wanting to compare different presets or different edits, that's the easiest way to do that. I used to tell you guys to do like Command Z, Shift Command Z to go back and forth. I found a better way, and that's snapshots. Snapshots take it looks around here and it's saying, oh, your clarity is -5, highlight's -60, white's -35, and it kind of like stamps it. And you can go down here. So I'll show you. So if I add another snapshot and then just change presets, another snapshot. I don't know what that was. Interesting. And so if you can go down here and I can sit there and compare with my snapshots, which is kind of cool. So anyways, so kind of like this, kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, that was my babysitter. My wife's at home texting me. So you just saw her text. My wife is at home sick today. And yeah, anyways. So let's say it's kind of interesting, you know, but notice, so there's before already and there's after. This is fantastic. So a little bit of my contrast. So I'm usually adding contrast to my images. Lately I've been adding a little bit less because I've just been shooting better with light and I'm experimenting a little bit more, but with this one I'm definitely going to add some contrast over there. And I usually will adjust based on what I need there. And I also have the ability to mess around with light up here. I'm just a dragger is what I do. I drag and I notice, Command Z, Shift Command Z, what feels good, what doesn't feel good is what I'm doing. Okay, and I'm always pushing the slash that's right above the return key to look at before and after. Is what you're seeing happen. That's very useful for me. I want to be continually confirming that I'm making the photograph better. Okay, so that's why I do that often. I'm just like bam, bam. Oh yeah, yeah. You know, it's this little neuro cookie that makes me feel better. Let's see. I'm probably good. I'm going to go into Alien Skin. Alien Skin Exposure X now. Edit a copy with Lightroom adjustments. What's happening is Lightroom is sending out a TIFF of this image. That's a TIFF. There it is. Or I'm sorry, TIF. And now I'm in Alien Skin. Alien Skin is what I also use on top of VSCO. I'm usually using the Kodak Portra 160 VC here. One thing I love about Alien Skin is it gives me a live preview as I'm hovering over. That's one thing that Lightroom does not do. And when I found out that Alien Skin does that, that just changed my workflow, and I'm good. And it just made me happy. So I don't generally do all that. And so some of the biggest things that I use Alien Skin for are obviously their film presets, but this is where I usually add a little more contrast. Sometimes I will mess around with Milky Blacks here. And again, this is just trial and error. It's kind of interesting. Yeah. I can go with that. And I mean, I can adjust. You know, if you know how to do this stuff, I mean, you know that this is just split toning. It's all it is. These are presets for split toning. There's nothing that special about it. So, I mean, I can create certain effects in here by doing that stuff. Not that big a deal. I'm okay. Because I'm good, yeah. And again, same thing, slash shows you before and after. And this is kind of spring loaded, which means if you hold it, it shows you. If you let go, come back. Good. Yeah, here's some of these lighting effects. I mean, notice like that light effect is very similar to the one that I've created right there. Although mine looks a little better because it's in camera. Anything you can do in camera is definitely better. So I had sharpening in exposure, although I want to bring that down. I usually adjust all my presets, and then I also mess around with the grain. as well. And again, you can adjust grain very specifically inside of exposure. So again, there's my before. This was after my VSCO film preset. So notice the big difference. I mean, and there's after. And I'm probably going to bring down some of the intensity for this preset. Okay. And then what happens is you press save. And then when you go back into Lightroom, it automatically saves this file, this TIFF, directly to the original photograph. Like so. Where am I? There. Hang on, let me see what the heck's going on. There was my new edit. That's a previous edit I did. I actually like that one better, honestly. And then there was the just VSCO Lightroom edit right there. And then there's the one I just did. So that's an edit with VSCO film instead of Lightroom and Alien Skin Exposure X. If you guys have any questions about anything that I just did, let me know. There's another edit. This is the one that I'm probably going to give to her. Totally different presets, totally different film look there. I was trying to accent that, but you know, notice the big difference. I even cropped it better. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day. Let me know if you have questions, and just comment down below. See ya.